Hi, this is CYP. And somebody asked me if I could show them how to make granny squares. And I am one of these people who's an idiot and thinks, sure, I can do anything. And I will show you how to do it. So I bought some cheap dollar store yarn to go along with my theme of everything from the Dollar Tree, except for my needles. I grabbed some out of my craft supplies. So there you go. Let's see if I can, yep, I'm in camera. So you just tie a little loop, knot. Don't worry about this string. You're just gonna smooch it in. Tie a knot. I usually kind of check to make sure it's kind of wiggly. Then I tie another knot. I don't think this is how you're supposed to start crochet. This is how I was taught to start it. If you were taught something else, good. I'm glad. I hope it works out for you. So I'm gonna go 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just a chain of 5. I'm gonna go back in to my original hole, and I am going to connect them. There you go. And now is the time where you make a decision. It's not a life-changing decision. It's whether or not you want to loop this thread around your circle like this and crochet into it or around it or whatever, so it's already looped in. Or if you want to just go back with a needle later and thread it through whatever you've done and hide it. I don't cut it off. You just thread it through, and you can just take like one of those plastic yarn needles and put it through. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to leave it out so I have something to hold on to, because I kind of like that. So, you know, I like leaving it there sometimes. And then you just chain stitch up. Okay, so you've connected your chain stitch, and then you just chain stitch up again. 1, 2, then stop. And then you loop one over, go under. So you're in your little hole. Everything's going to be in your hole from this layer. Make sure you have some thread pulled out, because you know you don't want it to get tight. And use whatever needle you like. You can swap needles. The only thing you need to do is make sure that like your holes aren't wonky, because if your holes are really big, you're probably using too big of a needle. And if it's hard to pull through with the head that you have, and they're really like squished and tight, and it just, then go up. And if you're making granny squares, the only thing to remember is your thread should all kind of be the same thickness, and your needle should be the same needle throughout making all of them. You don't need a pattern. You don't need to be a specific size, because as long as you're using the same needle and the same kind of yarn, all of them are going to turn out the same. So there you go. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Okay, so now we have 3. I've done 2, but the first one that I made, the chain stitch up, is substituting for one of these. And then you go 1, 2. So 3, 2, 2 chain stitches, go back in. We're gonna make 3 more of these. One, 2. And my thread's starting to get tight, so I'm going to pull it out again. Pulling it out, pulling it out, pulling it out. It's like bedroom activities over here. Then 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3. And see, I didn't catch it. If I had caught it, it would have been fine. Okay, so now you've got 4 groups of 3, because you know you want 4 sides. And then you just go 1, 2. And then you come back over here, and you kind of smoots in this one. And you connect them. See? So this is the first layer. And it's 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. And you're going to do 3, 2 the whole time. Let's go back up again. Except for, you know what I like to do? I like to flip it around because I find that easier. Oh, I didn't do it. 1, 2. We're going up, making these long stitches. 1, 2. And now we're back at 3 again. 3 of them. And then you're just kind of squishing it over. And then you're going to go 2 to the chain stitch. And then back in the same hole and do 3 more. So you got 3, 2, 3, 2 again. Back in the nether hole. We're going to make 3 and 2 in this one. So you're making your corners now. You're expanding. Hopefully I'm not fuzzing out. I can't tell with my camera because I can't look and do this at the same time. And it starts to look a little wonky. It's fine. It's fine. It will square up when you're done. I promise. See? It's square. And then 2. 1, 2. We've got our 3. Squish them over. 1, 2. And you don't have to squish them over. I just find it easier. Squishing, smushing. Now we're at our last hole right here. And we're going to do our 3 and 2 again. Yep. I'm trying to go fast because I don't know how to edit. And then 1, 2. And then we're going to go back over here. We're going to find that top stitch of this one. We're going to go in, however you want to go in. And we're going to connect. Oh, come on. There we go. So in your 4 holes from the beginning, you have now put 2 groups and additionals 2s. And then you have 2s for the center. So now we're going to flip it over again. And again, this is just how I do it because I find it easiest. 1, 2. We're going up. We're making our fake stitch. We're going to go in this hole. Now, these center holes, we're only going to go in and put 1 group of 3. In these, we're going to do 2 groups of 3s because our corners are expanding out, our middles are staying the same. I hope that makes sense. Three, and then we got the 2, and now we're going over here. Oh, did you see what I just did? I did not make 3, and I just started to try and chain. Bad me. I am trying to hurry. One, 2. Okay, so this layer, it's going to have the 3, and then the 3, 3. So the corners are doubled, and the middles are just the 1. right? Does that make sense? And again, it's just 3 and 2, every single place. 3 of the big stitches, 2 of the chains. And you can do this as big as you want. You could make a whole blanket that is just one big granny square. Or you could make 9 zillion granny squares. It is up to you. And then see, there's my corner done. Here's my middle done. I'm back in the middle. So I'm just gonna do the 3 in the middle. Now I'm on my corner. So every corner, it's doubled. 3, then 2 chains, and then 3. I don't know all the names of the stitches. I don't know how to read patterns. I just make things. And you might be thinking, well, it's a little loopy here. You know what? When you sew them all together, you don't see it. You don't see it. This is how you do it. And again, your squares might be a little bigger. Your squares might be a little smaller. Your squares might be a little tighter. Your squares might be a little looser. It doesn't matter. Because as long as you're consistent throughout all your squares, they will be the same size, and it doesn't matter. Don't overthink it. We're in the corner. We're doing 3 big ones, 2 chains, back in, 3 more. One, 2. And then you come back over here to the top. My needle got stuck. Go in and you connect. Bop. And you're done. Look at that. You have made a granny square. Now you might need to stretch it out a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. That's just called blocking. When you stretch it out a little bit and make sure it's square, that is called blocking. Everybody does it. When you're knitting, you need to block. It might be a little wonky a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. It's a square. Now, if you want to do, so you can do multiple colors. So, you know, like here's the 1 layer, here's the 2nd layer, here's the 3rd layer. You could do multiple colors. You can connect them with different colors. You can do whatever you want. Now, if you want a slightly bigger square, because 3 is fine. Whatever you want to do is fine. Then you just keep going. And it's the same. You go up. I would turn around because that's how I do things. And then I go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Then I make my corner. See, corner. And we double in the corner again. Again, it's the same. 1, 2, 3. I got my 3. Now I'm going to make my 2 chains. I'm going to go in, make my 3 stitches. Make my 2 chains. And then now, instead of the 1 hole like we had before, we've got 2 holes. And each of these 2 holes, so anywhere in the middle, we don't double. We only double on the corners. So here, we're just going to put 3 here, chain, 3, chain, and then over here it's going to be 3, 2, and more. So we only double corners. And I am really trying to do this fast. And it is not fast. Because it is what it is. When you're crocheting, you're usually doing something else. You're not just sitting here talking endlessly, wishing you had brought your cup of coffee over because your throat is scratchy. You know, normal stuff. You're sitting in the car waiting for a kid at some activity, you know. Wherever you normally do this. Doctor's office, getting coughed on, you know. Late at night while you're had too much wine. I don't know. When do you do it? I'm sure there's people that crochet in the bathtub. That's probably not advisable. You're going to get your yarn wet. I mean, it's acrylic yarn. Oh, is this? Yeah, it's acrylic. Acrylic yarn's fine. You can get it wet. The only yarn you wouldn't want to get wet probably while you're actually crocheting is, you know, wool. The fancy schmancy stuff. Especially with hot water. You know, like warp it. Twisting with hot water, bad. Okay, so you can see it's coming out just like it should. The corners, the corners, the corners. And these squares are filled in. And again, if it looks a little wonky on the edges, it's fine. It's fine. You're going to block it. You're going to match it up. It's fine. So sometimes it doesn't lay perfectly flat while you're making it, and you might go, "Oh my God, it's twisting, it's warping, it's not." It's fine. Just keep going. Just keep going. Okay, I have already done my 2, so I'm going over here and I'm doing my 3. And you know, you might need to practice and make a few practice ones before you get like a consistent stitch, especially if you're a beginner, and that's fine too. You know what you do with the ones that you start off? You make them into hot pads. Except for don't make hot pads with acrylic yarn. Yeah, no, don't do that. I'm not talking like hot pads like you would actually pick up like a cast iron stove, like pan thing. No. I meant the ones that you put down that you put a pan on. But you don't use acrylic yarn because it will melt. You use only cotton for that. And you double up. Just saying. You know, you put 2 of them together. You don't do it with anything. Yeah. You can do it with wool and you can do it with cotton. Don't do it with any other kinds of synthetic yarns. Synthetic yarns, if you put hot cast iron on, will melt. Not good. And then we just go 2. And then we're back here at our beginning. And this is one of our middle ones, so we go 3. We just put 3 of them in. We're not doubling in the middle anywhere. And we got our 2 stitches. We're gonna go back in over here. We're gonna find a place to slip in. Sneak right in there. Pull loop through, pull it through, and you're done. Look at that. And again, if it looks a little cockeyed over here, it's fine, because you're gonna stretch it out, and that's called blocking. You're gonna stretch it out, you're gonna stretch it out, you're gonna stretch it out, and it'll lay flat. And it's gonna be sewn to another one. And when they're all sewn together, if it's a little bumpy here, a little bumpy here, it's not actually gonna be bumpy when you make your blanket. And then, you know, you just tie it off, you put your string in, you tie that off in here, and there you go. That's how you make a granny square. So there you go. And all you have to remember is 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then you just keep expanding out. And anywhere, you can keep going. If you wanted to keep going, again, you would just put 3 in any of these middle ones, then you would put 3, 2, 3 on the corners, go back through 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. There you go. That's how you make a granny square. Make it as big, make it as small, do whatever you want, and then connect them together. The end. I hope that helps. And again, you can use whatever little needle that you think would work with your yarn. And they'll all end up the same size as long as you make sure to use the same needle. Bye. Oh, it's not letting me buy. Okay, now bye.